na nos mesa de redação chega informe que Antares, rocket, raket que está em espera para launch awe Nochi, lo a surgir confrontar algum problema, mejor dicho, aí na NASA. Nós temos conosco Dr. Edward Chung na telefone, caminho que lo explica nos tiki mais de que lo pora passa precisamente dessa situação aqui. Dr. Edward Chung?
Mientras tanto que nós estamos na espera de comunicação de founder aqui, é raket que muito provavelmente, ou melhor dicho, não tem pessoa a bordo, então mais raket para suministrar equipo e comida para na Space Station. Pero mientras tanto nós estamos dando contato com o Dr. Edward Chung. Provavelmente depois que o lance raket tem
Dr. Edward Chung? Nós temos espera assim também de contato telefônico aqui, para maneira nós elaborar rato passar raquete aqui tá vaindo Space Station com tanto comida e outro supply a bordo, caminda que durante dia launching dia aqui lo confrontar problema e nós temos junto com o senhor Edward Chung, Dr. Edward Chung, que lo está encargado também de processo largo para poder lograr essa aqui a Nochi.
Hello, this is Edward.
Dr. Edward Chung, we have the honor to have you tonight in our news. We just got the information that the rocket launch experienced some trouble when launching. Can you explain this to us and maybe state what you saw?
So I was a witness at the launch because our team has hardware on this vehicle tonight. This is the Antares rocket that is launched from Virginia in order to bring supplies and experiments and new hardware to the space station. And we're there as invited guests. And I've been to many rocket launches, and the ignition of the main engine occurred pretty much normally. I have my personal long lens camera there. I could see the main rocket ignition occur normally. The rocket then lifted off the launch tower, and normally there's a big white plume of rocket exhaust that covers the launch tower, and then the rocket pulls out from there and ascends into space. But this time, the rocket was not emerging from the plume. It was just staying shrouded. And then I could see the bright light actually come downwards. And once it got really low, the whole rocket exploded. Now, I suspect, and this is something we will be finding out in the coming days, that the range safety officer exploded the rocket, destroyed the rocket for safety reasons. But that's not something I could see. I just saw from witness accounts that it completely destroyed itself just before it hit the ground. And I must say that there was a double boom that was so strong, I almost knocked off my feet. And it happened a good 2-3 seconds after the burst. So that shows you, the distance that we were at, about 8,000 feet. So about a mile and a half away, or about 2 kilometers.
Following steps, following this procedure, since this is not something usual?
No, we were briefed in advance, the standard briefing, which is if something were to happen, and they say this is never not going to happen, so don't worry about it. But if something were to happen, immediately board the buses. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that tonight was the second launch attempt. We also were out here attempting to launch last night, and there were about 300 VIPs together. Tonight, the crowd was less, because many couldn't make it, so it was about half, about 125 people, I would guess. And that's helped, because as soon as the explosion occurred, everyone remembered the briefing and ran for the buses. and we were able to board the buses pretty quickly, you are told to board the same bus again so that the attendants can count who is on the bus, and as soon as the count matches the amount of people that were brought, that bus driver left, and we all left very quickly from the launch site. The buses are closed up so that we don't breathe in anything toxic that might be dispersed, and everyone is safe and accounted for at this point.
Well, we know as well that you were part of the team for the setup for this launching. Is this correct?
That's right. My team and I have been working on new hardware that would be used on space station. We've been working for the past year and a half on this new hardware, and of course that was on the rocket, and that hardware is lost at this point. But fortunately, no lives were lost. It's not a manned craft. It was unmanned. And initial reports that I'm hearing is that everyone is accounted for and everyone's safe.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Edward Chung, and we will be pending the results of this investigation. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you. I wish everyone well in Aruba. I'm thinking a lot about the folks back home in Aruba, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.